Hi there, this is Roderick from Toy Masters Video Magazine. Still here at Ecbacc 2013, early in the morning, or I guess the afternoon time. I'm here with Jerry Kraft, the creator of Mama's Boys Incorporated. So what's up, Jerry?
Hey, busy. This is I think my 12th Ecbacc, so it gets better every year, so I'm always glad to be here.
What's new coming out from you?
Okay, so the newest thing, I'm working on my 4th Mama's Boys book, so hopefully I'll have that by the summer, But in the meantime, I've been kind of exploring a little bit more. I've done a few chapter books in recent years. This one was by George and Emma Fraser. I did the illustration, helped do some writing. So I'm actually, in the next month, I'm going to release this. This is called The Offenders. And it's an anti-bullying book. It's a group of middle grade kids, and they're kind of school bullies. But when they get their superpowers, instead of turning into someone cool like Hulk, Iron Man, they actually take over the characteristics of the kids they bully. So you see that this kid gets kind of a little on the wide side. She always picks on the skinny kid, so she's like paper thin, He was kind of jock that gets kids, that makes fun of the smart kids. So he actually becomes super smart, but he's really physically awkward. Okay. This is a kid that's got both his parents are dentists, so he always makes fun of kids with like bad teeth or buck teeth, whatever. So he's got this kind of the steel teeth, almost like Wolverine, actually Beaverine. And she teases kids about being mousy and small. She actually shrinks down. She's about 6 inches tall. So I should have this in probably about 2 weeks. That's called The Offenders.
And how many pages will that be?
This is actually a big one. This will be about 238 pages. So it's a thick one. So there'll be some reading in it, but it's light reading and it's good for kids.
Is there any art in it? Is there art in it?
Yes, there'll be art and spot art on each chapter, and then some stuff in the back, some cool stuff.
How long did you work on that?
I've actually been working on this for probably about 2 years.
I figured about that long, yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to research because the characters of a black kid, a Puerto Rican kid, a Korean kid who's been adopted by white parents, and 2 white kids, and I really researched it. So even especially the Puerto Rican kid, I had done some stuff, and then I shot it over to a couple of friends of mine who are Puerto Rican, and they were like, that's not how it works in our house. And I was like, all right, let me know.
Right.
And they, I did it and worked it, and I sent it to them, like, now you got it. Now that is a good character.
So it's a multicultural.
Yeah, it's definitely multicultural.
Okay.
So that's one of the big ones, and because the bullying thing is like a really big thing. A lot of schools, like when I go and talk to schools, a lot of times they want me to talk about bullying. So I think when I have this book, I can have something as a supplement to my speeches when I talk to them. I have a couple schools already that want to do like community reads with the book. So I think this actually be one of the bigger things I'm doing this year.
Now the kids here, the school they go to, is that in Harlem or?
No, the one in Harlem, that's the next one that I'll tell you in a second. But this is more of a suburban kind of school.
Okay.
So more lighthearted. There's some stuff that's silly, but I make it silly in parts so that when the serious bullying theme comes in, that it really is an eye opener, and it gets kids to think about not only if they are bullied, but if they're actually bullying other kids. Because sometimes they're like, oh, I was only playing,
right?
But the whole thing about your intent versus your impact, like that's a big thing. Just because you don't intend for it to hurt someone's feelings doesn't mean that you don't. So I try to take a lot of stuff on that. I've read up a lot about it, so I try to put some really cool things that make it good for kids, but also like a teaching tool for that schools can use.
Now let's talk about your next new project here, where it's actually superheroes.
Yeah, this is the big one. This is Positive Floor. Now, I wrote this. Normally I illustrate my own stuff. This is the first time I've worked with an illustrator. So I went to the man, the myth, the legend, Mashindo Kumba. This is a kid who is 16 and he's growing up in Strivers Row in Harlem. And he's got these superpowers, and you know, he sees the guys in the community. Some of them may steal or do drugs or sell drugs, but he knows he doesn't just want to turn them over to the police because they're kids like him. And once they end up in the prison system, that's it, basically.
Right.
You know? So his dad comes back into his life. His dad's a scientist, and he and his dad come up with a way not only to change that, but also to change how kids are thinking up here. So this would be also about 250, 300 pages. And this is a YA one. I'd love for kids to read this with their dads or mentors, you know, big brothers, that kind of thing. It's kind of a bonding thing. So that's what I'm putting all my work into. As soon as this one is done, I go back into doing this. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with this.
Now that's basically going to be a novel right there, right?
Right, novel.
Okay. Will there be any art inside the book or in the novel at all? Or just the cover?
Maybe. I'm trying to think about that. You know, I may, because of seeing this, I may have to talk Mashindo into doing some more art for the inside. This is a treat in there.
Yeah, 2-3 pages, maybe 4.
Yeah, I'll see what I can get him to do. You know, so yeah, those are the big things this year.
Okay. And when do you think that's going to be available?
I'm hoping by summer. You know, I usually do things like the Harlem Book Fair and things like that. That's like July. So if I can lock down some time and do that, but you know, I have a couple other big things. But I'm hoping, because I know definitely, I think by the new school year, so I can get it into some schools, because one of the problems is, I know when I was a kid I didn't like to read. So it's kind of funny, I became a writer. Yeah. But what happens is there's just not a lot of stuff that kids can relate to. You know, and even like the classics, it's like, yeah, they're classics, but you know, by whose standards? You know what I mean?
Yeah, trust me, I've done the selling the encyclopedias and all that to kids, and they're taught to the mothers. And the first thing, if the kids are there, you know, the mother's like, he doesn't like to read. And if I talk to the kid, I'm going like, well, what do you like to read? Comic books, whatever, yada, 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 yada. And the kid's saying, yeah, I like this, I like that, like, you know, whatever, superhero, non-superhero, whatever it is. And then you look back at the parents like, he does like to read. It's just that it's not what the school's giving you. It's not interesting.
So, and that's one of the biggest things, is because, you know, you look at this, and sometimes, you know, when I don't even approach big publishers anymore, because they're like, if I say, yeah, it's geared towards, you know, black boys, they're like, they don't read, or we don't do books for black boys because they don't read. I'm like, well, you don't do books for them because they don't read, or they don't read because you don't do books for them. So a lot of times it's up to the independent publishers like myself to do this, because, you know, I teach at schools all the time. I go to all kinds of places, you know, inner cities, suburbs, all kinds of places, you know. And you know, I talk to these kids and I show them stuff and I see their eyes light up. So, you know, this is I actually really did this after the Trayvon case of like having a hero that actually does have to be a very good guy. Okay. You know,
so the stigma of it being a bad guy because he's wearing a hood.
Right. And so that it's not like, you know, that's automatically makes him a bad guy, you know. So it's really the person in. So this is thus the hero in the hood. So literally he's in the hood, and then, you know, figuratively, that's where he's concerned with.
What is his powers? What is his powers?
Well, he can fly. He's still learning them. He can fly. His dad is a scientist. It hooked him up with this suit. So it's kind of like light that's solidified, almost like a Green Lantern kind of thing. So he can do that. Not quite as over the top, like he can't, like, you know, make guns and all that stuff, but, you know, can kind of project stuff. It's like, so no like, you know, death blast or anything like that.
It's kind of like Dr. Light.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, more like that. And then he's strong, but he's seeing exactly because he's still learning it. And then with the help of his father, with the scientific aspect, you know, I may unveil stuff slowly and surely.
Now, if this goes off well, do you think that you would see this maybe in an animated cartoon or a toy line?
I mean, that's always the ultimate. You know, I actually see this. This is probably one that I've dreamt the biggest of, and even when I'm writing it, I can kind of see Will Smith and Jaden Smith as the characters. So that actually helped a lot. So as I'm writing this, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. You know, Will is the dad coming back, and Jaden, by the time this is ready, he'll be 16, 17. He'll be ready.
Yeah, well, Will Smith already played I'm Legend as a scientist, so.
Right, and then the new one, the After Earth.
Yeah.
You know, so when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, this is the next project. So, you know, I definitely feel that there's something that can come of this. So, you know, that's it. So that's why, like I said, I went to the man for this, to really get it the way that I wanted for this.
All right. Well, thank you, Jerry.
You got it.
And here you have it, folks. All his 3 new projects coming out.
Yep.
Some sooner than the others.
Yep. And then you can follow me along on, you know, Facebook and Twitter. It's always simple. It's just my name, Jerry Craft. Even my website, jerrycraft.net. Jerry with a J, Craft with a C.
And I'm Roderick with an R. From Toy Masters Video Magazine. Here at Ecbacc 2013.
Absolutely.
Catch y'all later.